A brand new look Orient live. The O's haven't had a fixture all year, or a league fixture all year, but that changes this Saturday when Port Vale travel to E10. And don't worry, that time off hasn't gone to waste, as Kenny's had the boys hard at work knocking up this brand new studio. But of course, it is very new, so there might be a few technical hitches along the way. So bear with us, and we'll be previewing that fixture against Port Vale and looking back over the last few weeks. And I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by regular pundit Brendan Pitcher and Orient's number 22 goalkeeping extraordinaire, Lawrence Vigouroux. And our brand new studio, it's going to be a lot more interactive, so make sure you head over to @LOFC Live on Twitter, where there'll be matchday polls, giveaways and interviews, plus more for you to get involved with. So head over and get on there now. So boys, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the new E10 studio. And now Lawrence, let's start off. It's been weeks without a league fixture. You must be pretty bored.
Yeah, it's been quite frustrating, to be fair. But you know, we've been working hard. You know, the manager's got us, you know, doing a lot of shape, a lot of 11v11 scenarios, and you know, I feel like the boys are completely ready for the game on Saturday. So hopefully we can do well.
Hopefully so. And Brendan, it's been frustrating for the players, I'm sure, and it's been equally frustrating for fans with, you know, late cancellations and everything. As a fan, you must be buzzing to be watching the O's in action again on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be the first home game for 42 days, which is some break to have in the middle of the season. And Loz is talking there about kind of the effects it will have. And we all know what type of manager Kenny Jackett is. He's meticulous in what he does on the training ground. And actually, this might have done us a favour in terms of we're going to be so well organised when we come back. And also, we have players like Paul Smith, who was just coming back from injury before this break, now fully fit and raring to go. And he's such an important player for us.
Certainly is, and I'm sure we'll come on to more of that later. But Lawrence, as a player and the rest of the group, how's it been almost mentally, you know, to have this enforced winter break? So if we're getting ready for the World Cup break that we'll have next winter, but how's it been mentally for you boys?
Yeah, no, it's been frustrating for sure, you know, because we look at you know, playing at 3 p.m. Other teams are playing at 3 p.m. and we're just at home, so it's been frustrating. But you know, I think the break will do us good. I think we've got a lot of players that have been injured that they'll be back or have suffered with COVID. So I think, you know, we're fit and firing and we're ready to go on Saturday.
And how have those in-house 11v11s been going for you? Been finding yourself on the winning side? Must be a competitive affairs.
Yeah, of course. Everything's competitive affair, you know, especially under the manager and the coaching staff. You know, we always have the hunger to win. They always want us to win. So, you know, everyone's competitive. Everyone's hungry to, you know, try and get into the team for the game Saturday. So we've just got to keep working hard, and you know, another training session tomorrow leading into the game for Saturday. So we look good. I think a lot of the boys are back to fitness, and that's for me the most important thing.
And these fixtures that have been postponed, Brendan, they've got to happen sometime, and they're all going to be crammed in to the rest of the season now, and it's going to be a big second half to the season, and there might be a little bit of a pile up there, but it's going to be a hectic one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Newport coming up this midweek, and I think I've worked out where it's going to be 7 of the next 10 midweeks we're playing games, so it's going to be tough on the legs. There's a lot of away games in there. I think 5 of those 7 midweek games are away from home, so it's going to be a tough run. But if you can build the momentum and you can keep going, it could be a positive for us if you just keep building, and all of this work that they've done in this break can pay off.
And how are the lads looking forward to embracing that challenge of the Tuesday, Saturday? It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, no, of course it will be. You know, it'll be tough on the legs, but I think it's very good in 2 ways, because we can, if you win on the Saturday, you go straight into a game on the Tuesday, and if you lose or draw, you should pick up the points, and you don't, you've got a game on Tuesday quickly, which comes thick and fast to rectify it. So it can only be good for us, you know. I think we've got a very good squad here, you know, and we've got players that on a Saturday are very unlucky to miss out. So, you know, if everyone stays with that hunger and desire, you know, to break into the team, then, you know, it can only be good for the club as a whole. And I think that is what we're aiming for, you know, because we're aiming to be in and around the top 7, top 3. So that's our aim, and that's what we want, and that's what we're working for day in, day out.
Well, talking of league positionings, let's remind ourselves of how that table looked. It's been 5 weeks since we probably last saw it, and of course the teams around us have been playing games here and there, but you can see by the amount of games in hand we've got on the likes of Salford and Newport in 6th place. 13th doesn't really tell a true story, does it, Brendan?
No, we've got a lot of games in hand there, and they're games that you're going to be looking to win, because we've missed a few home games where that's obviously our strength, and games like the one against Oldham, you're probably looking at, with our away record, that would have been a perfect one for us, because no disrespect to Oldham, but they're bottom of the league. We probably would have fancied our first away win in a while there. So there's games to be played and there's games to be won, and if we do win those games, we're obviously going to be way higher up the table than 13th.
And looking at that table, Lawrence, we can see the majority of our upcoming opponents just above us. And is that something that you relish as a group, to almost go into it and overtake those above you?
Yeah, of course. They're all good sides. They're above us because, they've got more points than us, and we've got to try and get those points back off them. So there'll be tough games, for sure. Every game, I think, is a tough game, though, in this league. So we've just got to, just take each game as it comes. Saturday and Tuesday, Saturday again, and just try and pick up as many points as we can, and hopefully that will do us good leading into the business end of the season, which is coming up real soon.
It certainly is. And as Lawrence and Brendan both alluded to, players have returned from injury, but the O's have also strengthened the team recently with a couple of new signings, with Dan Moss joining on loan from Millwall and Otis Khan joining on an 18-month contract. Let's listen to our latest signings interview, Otis Khan, as he joined.
Well, Otis, very big welcome to Leyton Orient. Firstly, do you want to tell us about how this deal came about?
Yeah, I've been in constant communication with the manager, Kenny Jackie. Obviously, he's been in contact with my agent as well. Back and forth, speaking to each other. And all sounds really good and positive.
You've been at Walsall this season. I believe it's just a short-term contract, but it looks like you made a bit of an impact there as well.
Yeah, after Tranmere's, I put all my aspirations into going League One, and that didn't pay off. But I went to Walsall, got games under the manager, Matt Taylor. Really enjoyed it, great manager, but I felt it was time to move on.
Tell us a bit about yourself as a player. What kind of position are you, and what would you say some of your best traits are?
I've played a lot of positions, very versatile. I think the way Kenny wants to play here as a wing back suits me down to the ground. I played it last year at Tranmere, did really well. And yeah, I like to get forward, assist, goals, try and help the team as much as I can. Yeah, just overall exciting player.
That wing back role was recently populated by someone you knew, Tom James, and Yeovil. You were fighting over free kicks as well.
Yeah.
Did you speak to him before coming to the club?
Not as yet, no. So I was with Tom 4 years ago at Yeovil. Really good lad. Really got on well with him. So it'd be good to. I've got that link with the club, and it'd be good to see him in the next coming days.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing Otis in action as soon as possible. And Brendan, you don't normally spend 10 years at Man United if you haven't got something about you. How impressed are you with that signing of Otis Khan?
Yeah, I think you only need to look at Walsall's reaction on their Twitter once they announced he was leaving to see what kind of player he is, because they were devastated, and that can only be a good thing for us because they're a fellow League Two team. And it's an interesting signing because I'm interested to see where he's going to play, because he's very forward thinking if he's going to play right wing back, which I expect he is. So it's a good sign and gives us a nice balance there, because we with Tom James injured, that's probably where he's going to look to play for the time being. But he can also, he's pretty versatile. He can probably play in that number 10 position, maybe play in a central midfield spot, maybe if we change formation, play as a winger. So it's a really good sign and a statement of intent from the board to get him on a 18th month deal.
Absolutely, and the club have from seasons gone by made some great January transfer business. One of them sat with us today. How big can a January signing be for the club and coming in, giving the squad a little boost? Yeah,
it can be, but it's quite hard as well, because you've got to come in and you're halfway through the season, and the boys that have been there previously, they would already have adapted to the manager's ways or the way the manager wants to play. So it can be difficult, but also, it can be really good. It can rejuvenate the squad. It can, can help players that were, struggling for form, like rediscover their form. So, it's a great signing. I've played against him, a lot of times during my career, and he's always been the main player that the teams that I've been at have always looked at as a danger man. So he's a good signing. I'm very happy he's on board, and hopefully he can help us this season push on for promotion and in the higher spots.
Hopefully so, and he's not the only right-sided player to come in, Brendan. Dan Moss as well. I think more of a defensive option at right back, but they're both options now, and they've both strengthened a position that everyone was saying needed some more bodies in.
Yeah, I really like that. That's kind of the two pieces of our window we've done first. I'm sure there'll be more to come, but with these two, you've got two wing backs who are probably going to compete for that spot, who are different, can do different roles. I think Khan's going to be the more attacking, offensive one, and Moss is going to be the more steady defensive one. So it gives you different options. Say we're playing away from home, tricky game, maybe you put in Moss. Say we're at home in a game we're expected to dominate, maybe put in Khan. So it gives Kenny different options. And I think when you've got these kind of run of fixtures coming up, that can only be a good thing.
And two players, Lawrence, Moss, who says he can play at centre-back, right-back or in the midfield. You've got Khan, who can play anywhere on the right or in that number 10 position. And how good is it to have a squad that is versatile and can switch it up and hit the opposition with something different?
Yeah, of course, it's very important. You know, Dan's been here a few days now, and he's been very good in training. You know, he's a young lad, but he's willing to learn. You know, he's integrated well within the group. So, you know, it's good to have that option. You know, but he's very good going forward as well. So from what we've seen in training, so. You know, I think he'll help us same way as Otis will help us. I think you know, we'll be firing. I think come Saturday. So hopefully they can integrate into the side well, and we can get 3 points on the board.
And we're 2/3 of the way through that January transfer window. Brendan, do you hope or expect to see any other positions maybe strengthened before the window ends?
Yeah, I think we'll touch on it later, but central midfield is going to be one that was probably targeted before the window, and now definitely that's going to be one to look at. And then also perhaps Tyrese Omotoye, obviously his loan came to an end, and we've got 3 strikers there, and then maybe Paul Smith that can fill in. But maybe if you're looking at, if we want 2 players for every position, maybe a 4th striker could be another one we look at. So yeah, I expect the club to be busy, so I don't think it's the end of our business for those 2 signings for sure.
Well, we'll certainly see. And one man who'll be maybe a little bit busy over the next 11 days looking at potential options is the manager, Kenny Jackett. We caught up with him ahead of our first league game in 5 weeks. Let's hear what his thoughts are.
Well, Kenny, it's been a while since we've been able to do this in person, but we're hoping that this weekend it's a visit to Port Vale and we'll be back in league action.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will get playing, and it does seem like we've had quite a long break from the league. We've been obviously active in the cup up at Stoke, but yeah, the league's, you know, to think that we're not even halfway through the season, this will be, you know, bang on half our season, 23rd game. So we're looking forward to getting going, and the next 3 months I think will come thick and fast anyway, where basically we've got, you know, half a season in 3 months. We have to be ready for that. Looking forward to it. It's good for the players because you then just get into a routine. You get a routine of the games. The squad get adapted to making sure that, you know, you put the club first, you put the team first, and doing everything we can to chase those top positions.
No league game in 5 weeks must be quite a unique problem to have as a manager. How have you and the players kind of overcome that? Has there been plenty of high intensity training? Yeah,
you have different phases, and we've had a training phase, although obviously 1 or 2 games called off quite late. At Oldham, and then the Bristol Rovers game, not through our own fault or any COVID problems in our camp, but for the opposition. But similarly, we've had a training phase, and you try to get as much out of a training phase as you possibly can. It's not everything, but it's important. They're important, and you have to use it when it's there. And we're going into now, you know, a game phase where our work, our organisation, our structuring of the team, our conditioning of maybe players that are trying to get back fit comes into play, and you know, you benefit through good performances and picking up points.
Port Vale at home this weekend, and a great encounter to get our teeth back into to start again, and probably a bit of a score to settle there, seeing how it ended last time. Yeah,
we nearly nicked it, but as you say, just at the end lost it. But my overall thoughts are Port Vale were a good side. You know, I did think that on that particular day, and they've proved that over, you know, the season so far. A good team. They have had, you know, some injury problems that they're trying to work through, like us all, and you know, they'll be chasing though in the second half of the season. They're a strong side, and on Saturday it starts a run of some very good teams we're playing against, and I'm looking forward to it because I want us to test ourselves against the best and be able to come out. If we want to be successful, we need to be, you know, successful and looking good against the best teams, and you know, that will start on Saturday.
In terms of squad selection then for Saturday, how are things looking? Obviously we've had a couple in terms of transfers, and there have been a couple of injury absentees as well, so in terms of selection for yourself, how's it looking?
Yeah, Moss and Khan are both fit and available, which is good news and good signings for us down the right hand side, and then after that, Craig Clay is having an operation today, and that does look like his season is finished. He has a knee ligament problem that's been lingering really since around about September, and we've decided to try to get that sorted out, and the operation will sort that out. So Craig will be a miss for us, but won't be available now for the foreseeable future. Theo Archibald, we're waiting probably until tomorrow, and we'll see if he's not fit for Saturday. Then we're hopeful of next week. He's very, very close.
Thanks, David Boone, for all your comments in the YouTube. Appreciate you following along, and of course, make sure you do head over to our brand new Twitter account at LOFC Live, where there'll be lots of matchday polls, interviews, and giveaways for you to get involved with. So head over there now. Slightly sombre subject, it feels, Brendan. One of the club's best players over the last 4 years today announced he had surgery on his knee ligament, Craig Clay. That's a pretty big blow for the O's.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, he's been massive for us. He's the club's longest serving player, and I think actually when you look at it, this year's probably been his best season at the club because of, I know he was great in that National League winning season, but this season he's playing for a playoff chasing side, and he's arguably looked one of our best players. So such sad news, and we can wish him well in his recovery, but it's an opportunity for other players to get minutes, and they've got to fill that gap, because not only is he he does the work in midfield, but like he's a leader in that midfield, and you look at someone like Hector Cipriano, he's going to have to do some some leadership stuff as well, I guess.
And touch on Hector there, he's been growing this season. Expect to see that even more. We've got Callum Riley on the sidelines, hopefully coming back in soon, and also maybe not a positive, but at least we're in the January window. You imagine that the centre of midfield might be a spot that we'll be looking to reinforce a little bit.
Yeah, I'd imagine so now, because you've got different options in there, in like you mentioned, Darren Prattley, Hector Cipriano and Callum Riley once he returns to full fitness. But you probably, with all these runner games coming up, midfield it's the most hectic area. It takes the most out of your legs. We're probably going to need one, maybe even two more.
And Lawrence, just how gutting is it for Craig and for any player to pick up an injury like that? It's never nice to see.
No, it's devastating. I think for us as well, the boys, he's such an infectious character around the place. He's a real happy guy, and we'll miss him. Not having him here for the rest of the season. The good thing is that he'll be around the training ground, to offer us, support, and it'll be tough for him, but we'll be there for him along the way. I think he's such a good guy with such a good heart that you can't wish anything but success and good luck for him going forward. So hopefully he recovers well, but selfishly, I wish he was out there doing battle with us on the pitch week in, week out, but these things happen.
I'm sure he'll be back out there battling in no time at all. But as you said there about him being around the training ground, his wisdom will be great, not only for the young Hector Cipriano in midfield, but you look at Anthony Papadopoulos and Matt Young, who have been breaking through the season as well. It's an opportunity for them, and also a chance for Craigie to maybe give them a little bit of coaching on the side.
Yeah, no, of course. We've got young players here that want to listen and learn, and that's for me the most fundamental thing as a young player. If you want to learn from people that are that have been there, been and done it, got promotions like Craig has, and Darren Prattley have, and you can only learn, especially from people in your own position, which is the most important thing. And I think what they do really well is the older players is they do offer that support, and the young lads do take it on, and they take it on day to day, and they work hard, and you see the improvements. Like I'm looking at, from a goalkeeping point of view, Reece Byrne, and how much he's improved in the last year and a half from where he was to what he is now. And I think that's not just down to me, that's down to him, wanting to learn and work hard and be the best that he can be every day. And and the same with Youngie and Ampap, and with all the young players here. I think they all want to learn and they all want to be better, and that for the club is amazing, because it gives the manager a headache, really. He can trust those players like he did with Matt Young at Tranmere, and coming on in the FA Cup against Stoke. You can trust those players to come on in big games and not be the weak link. They come in and seamlessly fit into what we're trying to do. So I think that's really important.
Well, you've touched on Stoke there, which we'll come on to in just a minute. But first of all, of course, we hope you get well soon, Craig. Rest up, and hope you're not out for too long. But we also need to congratulate Craig as well, who was awarded as Divine's Player of the Month for December. So massive congratulations to you for that one, Craig. And also the Goal of the Month goes to Aaron Drynan for his goal against Swindon Town. We'll bring that goal up on the screen, Brendan, but Drynen's been a bit of a surprise package so far this season. How important has he been for the O's?
Yeah, I think that speaks to kind of Kenny Jackett's recruitment style, I think, because he was, like we see here, he's a player who hasn't had a lot of goals recently in his career, but he's come to Orient and he's found the net and he's in a real hot streak, and that's because Kenny Jackett wants players to fit his system, and he recruited a player in Aaron Drynen and also his strike partner Harry Smith that perfectly suit his system.
Well, here is that goal of the month on screen, and it might not be the most spectacular finish, Lawrence, but I think it almost sums up the way we're playing, that our goal of the month was a team move as lovely as that one.
Yeah, you know, and you look at that clip, and you know, Shad should get a lot of credit because it's a wonderful ball to TJ, and then the quality that TJ has to put that ball exactly where Drizzy wants it, you know, to score is almost, it's way too good for this level, if I'm being honest. And then Aaron scoring, he's been scoring loads of goals, you know, and every time we get a chance like that, I think I'm very, very confident that we're going to score with all of our attackers. So, you know, we just got to keep plugging away and making goals like that, and we'll be fine.
I'm sure we will be. Now, it wasn't completely quiet throughout January. We did have some cup action, and the O's travelled to Stoke in the third round of the FA Cup. And Lawrence, myself and Brendan were there in the away end. We were scratching our heads as to how we didn't score, or, you know, even at least take it to penalties. How did the boys take that one?
Yeah, you know, it was quite hard for us to take, really, because we went there. You don't really expect anything from a League Two side going up to a Championship side. You know, we went there. We created some really, really good chances that on another day we score 3 or 4 of them. You know, but we came in after the game and we just said, this can't be a one-off. You know, playing like that. We've got to play like that. You know, week in, week out. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. We can't just be a team that's playing on occasions where, you know, we turn up in the big games in our league, and then, you know, we don't beat the others. So it was a really good game, I thought, and I think. Care
to explain that one?
Yeah, no, I actually thought it was a foul. I didn't know it was offside at the time. I thought it was a foul, but it was offside. I don't think he was given the foul.
Good save initially, though.
Yeah, I think I've got to tip it over, if I'm honest. But yeah, you know, just look at the chances. Yeah, it's just we had so many chances that on another day we'd score. And
we're looking at little Paul Smith there. He's come back into the side. He's not had probably the start he was hoping for at the O's, but we saw from his performance at Stoke what he can offer this side, and he'll probably almost feel like a new signing in January. Yeah,
you know, like we've got players like Paul there, and Callum Riley as well. When he comes back, he'll feel like another new signing. You see, that goal there is the difference, you know, like in the levels, you know, like I think we had all those chances and they didn't really create much, and then they get one and we're 1-0 down, you know. But yeah, you know, back to Paul Smith, I think he's such an important player because he can make something out of nothing. You can see like how quick and sharp he is. He'll be really important for us going forward.
He certainly will. And Brendan, you know, it was really promising as a fan to see. This was a performance against the Championship side after a fortnight off. No games over the Christmas period, and we've matched the Championship side. It was pleasing to see.
Yeah, and it's not the first time we've done that this season either, because you look back at the QPR game in the Carabao Cup and we were the better side that night as well. So it's like Lawrence says, Orient, this side raises their game against the better teams. Even in the league, we tend to come up against the better teams and we win. It's just on our day we need to be more consistent, because we've proven that we can play to this level, and if we play to this level, who knows where we'll finish at the end of the season.
Certainly, that is right. And you know, the players must have taken a lot of confidence from that themselves, and that game must have felt strange playing in a period of no games. Yeah. But did that help you boys? Is that kind of giving you a little, almost something to cling on to take into?
Yeah, definitely. Like we got a taste of actually playing a game, and I think that was great. You know, I think what we did have as well, we had a lot of the players that missed the Tranmere game all back for that one, so it was good to get the cohesion back. You know, we haven't played. I would say, what was the last game before Tranmere?
Tranmere on the 18th.
Was Crawley. Yeah. Was the last game before we had a lot of players out with COVID and stuff. So it was a long time since we've actually played a game with so much with all the main players that play week in, week out playing. So it was a good feeling, and we're just ready to go again on Saturday. I think that for me is just so important, that we keep that going, and hopefully the games come thick and fast and there's no more postponements going forward.
Well, it has been a long break for the O's. They haven't had a league fixture in over 5 weeks now, but it's another Stoke-based side that the O's are having to face on Saturday when Port Vale travel to E10, and tickets are on sale for that match now, so do head over to onlyoneorient.com to purchase your tickets for that. And international fans, you can also head over to the Match Centre and purchase your match passes to watch along with myself here in the brand new E10 studio. And if you're a UK fan, you can get your audio passes as well. But now looking towards Port Vale, Brendan, they had a good first half of the season. They haven't been in the best form recently, but it's going to be a tough game, as it always is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, because looking at it just on paper, I think from what I've seen of Port Vale, from what I saw in the game against us and other bits and pieces, they look like, to me, one of the best sides in the division. But recently, they've lost a few players, and they've lost each of their last 4 games. So they're in a bit of poor form. They've got their keeper, Lucas Coverland, suspended. Tom Conlon, probably their best number 10, he's injured. Well, he missed the game on Tuesday, so it looks like he might miss this one. And then a couple of strikers in, Proctor and James Wilson, both injured. So they're there for the taking today, and it'll be interesting to see if Orient can kind of use that time off wisely and really kind of use it to their benefit.
Well, the O's will be raring to go on Saturday, and I think they've got a score to settle. But let's take a look and remind ourselves of how that game panned out in the first half of the season.
It's a clash of League Two high flyers at Vale Park as 4th meets 2nd. Orient with the ensuing corner. And it's a deep one towards the back post, and that was Smith coming in. An ex-Northampton man. It's with confidence, and here they come. Managed to scoot it over to the left-hand side, and that's dished back into the area. And there's the opening goal for Port Vale. And it's taken just 6 minutes, and it's James Wilson, the ex-Manchester United man. Or is it Port Vale's day? Orient getting the foot on the ball in this second half a little bit more possession. Kenny Jackett's obviously Stern talking to his players at half-time, and here come Orient. Oh, it's deflected and it's in, and that's going to be an own goal, surely. I think it's come off Dan Jones, and on the hour mark, Leyton Orient are level. Time is ticking. This game, it's been a wonderful game, finally in the balance, but from Orient, that was a mistake, and it's fired towards goal and in! And Orient might have stolen all 3 points at Vale Park. Tom James with the goal, 4 minutes from time, and Port Vale are absolutely stunned. Orient have come from behind, and it is Tom James from 25 yards. Finds an equaliser. Moving towards stoppage time. This might be it! And they have equalised. And what a story this is! It's Dennis Politics on loan from Bolton. Oh, I might even fancy 3 points here. They're going for it. And they have a chance here! And it's Proctor! I do not believe it! Port Vale have snatched all 3 points in the 93rd minute.
Sorry to remind you of how that afternoon panned out, and Lawrence, you had your head in your hands just then. I don't think you could watch that back, but does that give you a little something more to want to go and prove a point on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a really tough game. We know that they're a good side. Even if they've got injuries, they'll be a good side. And watching that there, it just reminded me of how it felt, when they scored the 3rd goal. Because I thought we didn't actually play that well first half. Second half we did really well, and then we go 2-1 up, and then I think a draw would have been actually fair. To then lose it a minute later, it was gutting really. But we've got a score to settle with them. I think definitely. I think the way they celebrated after the game, we remember things like that, and hopefully we can take that energy and beat them on Saturday, which is what we need to do to get our season up and running again for the second half of the season.
And it's a slightly tough one to call, Brendan, with Orient having not kicked a ball in the league for so long, and Port Vale being in a a strange run of form. What way do you see this one going? It's hard to call.
It's a tough question, isn't it? But like I said earlier, when Orient play to their game and play to their strengths, they've proven we can hang with championship sides. We've beaten some of the top sides in the league. So especially at home, if Orient turn up and play to their best, then you can only really see Orient winning. So it's all on the performance and seeing if this time in the training ground can pay off.
Absolutely. Well, if you are coming to the Braille Group Stadium on Saturday, we've got a very special programme of Orient, I think it's fair to say legend, on the front cover, Joby McAnuff, with an exclusive interview in there. So make sure you do come along and purchase this beautiful programme. And Brendan, and I mean, obviously you played with him last year, Lawrence, and what a man.
Yeah, definitely. Really great person. You know, helped me mentally a lot last season as a captain, and you know, I can't speak high enough of the man. You know, he is a legend of football. I'd say. You know, he's done everything. So I'm really happy that, you know, he's getting acclaimed from the Orient pub, from the Orient fans, and from everyone connected to Orient, because he's such a good person and he deserves that, to be fair. So I'm really happy for him.
Well, make sure you do pick up that programme if you are here in E10 on Saturday. Not only have you got Joby, but you've also got opposition analysis and much more to get your teeth into. Now we've also got a competition for you to get in with to celebrate the launch of the brand new E10 studio. One of Lawrence's favourite ever goalkeeping shirts he claimed on Twitter. We are running a giveaway for you to win one yourself. And Lawrence, this is a pretty special shirt for you. It's one that you can't even buy in the club shop.
Yeah, you know, I love this one. I think we've only worn it 2 times this season. So I always ask Ada, the kit man, when am I next wearing it, because I love it so much. It's just a break from tradition. You know, tradition goalkeeper top is usually green, and to wear a dark blue one is something I've never done before. So I'd say it's one of my favourite tops, and yeah, I wish I could wear it more, but a lot of teams in our league wear blue, so it's a bit annoying.
Well, if you want to be in with a chance to get your hands on Lawrence's favourite ever goalkeeping shirt, just head over to our new Twitter account at LOFC Live. You've got to follow that account and retweet our latest tweet to be in with a chance of winning that. We'll be picking a winner at random, and we'll be announcing on the stream here in our brand new studio, so keep your eyes peeled. And of course, the match passes for our next few streams are on sale now. We've got Saturday, which is available for international viewers when we take on Port Vale, but Tuesday, when Newport County travel to E10, all fans worldwide will be able to watch that stream. So make sure you join us here for the second half of the season in our beautiful new studio. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. And a thank you, of course, to Brendan Pitcher and Lawrence Vigouroux for joining us this evening. Have a fantastic night, and up the O's.
Clearance comes out. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! Leyton Orient has